Today I want to take a quick look at the Vapor Max. I want to shoot for consistency in velocity. I want to see how that works out. I got to show you something about the scope first. Airguns of Alaska pointed this out the other day. I have cobbled something together for a mount for a scope, and I have a remedy on the way. This is temporary, so you know, I don't know what kind of groups we're going to get, but we'll see. Let me show you what we're talking about. If you look on his video, the back part of this dovetail, it's not split between the two halves. One half overlaps. And I was shooting this thing the other day. My groups were just terrible. They had been good. They were just absolutely terrible. And then I realized the scope was migrating backwards. I'll show you what one of the really bad groups looks like. I'll speed it up, but I'll do an overlay on this. But right here, I've added a second piece of Picatinny rail. Now this is two pieces. The front part looks like it's split like it should be. This one, when you squeeze on it, it just lifts up the left side. So that's the problem I was having. I couldn't tighten it up. I could just slide that right off. I'll throw the overlay up right here while I'm talking, tell you what I'm going to do. I've got some 8.7 grain dead centers and some 10.4 grain. And what I'm going to do, I'm 30 yards away. I'm going to do 6 pumps on the 8.7s and then 10 pumps on the 8.7s, 6 pumps on the 10.4s, and then 10 pumps on the 10.4s at 30 yards. And we'll see what kind of groupings we get. I'm not expecting a lot. It's windier today. I kept waiting for the wind to quit, and it's not going to quit, so I have to go before the daylight runs out. Let me get everything started. All right, I'm going to show you how I pump this thing. This was something that was taught to me years and years ago, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's what I do, and I usually get pretty good results with it. On most of the air rifles I've tried it on, and it's just basically pumping it slow, giving it time to breathe at each end of the stroke. This is the only time I'm going to show that, because it'd make the video way too long. I'm going to do the upper left target with 6 pumps. 666, 659. That's more of a spread than I usually get, but it is what it is. 658, 659, 661. Let's see what this session was. Not as good as what I've seen out of it. You got a maximum 666, minimum 658, extreme spread was 7.7, and standard deviation 2.8, which, I mean, that's still not bad, but I've seen better. It's not bad for a pump gun. All right, 10 pumps. And I'm not going to tell you that if I'm doing a follow-up shot on a rabbit or something that I don't pump a little faster than that. But when I'm just doing this, this is how I pump this. 748. 744. Big change of impact. 740. 739, 738. I am seeing a lot less consistent performance than I have in the past. So I'm looking at 738 for minimum, 748 for maximum, extreme spreads 10.7, standard deviation 4.0. Nothing close to what I've seen. All right, let me load up with the 10 grains, see if I'm any more consistent. I think the 10 grains were a bit more consistent, but even the 8.7s were doing better than that before. All right, this is 6 pumps with a 10.4 grain. If anybody wants to see these lubed to see if it makes a difference, let me know. I've got some white lithium grease. I'll give that a try and see what they do. Bottom left target, 6 pumps, 10.4 grain. Well, let's way to the left. 615. I don't think I whacked the scope or anything. See if they group there. 614. Interesting that they're moved that far to the left. 612. There must be some really weird harmonics in this barrel. I'm gonna have to tinker with this a bit. I don't know how much YouTube will let me tinker with an air gun. They should. 605. 608. All right, let's see what this session did. If it's as bad as the rest of them. 605 and 615, 10.7 foot per second spread, and the standard deviation is 4.0. All right, 10 pumps on the bottom right target. Man. 694. 694. 690. 692. 692. Well, it was a little more consistent. 690.0 was the low, 694.7 was the high, extreme spread was 4.7, and the standard deviation was 1.6. I've seen as low as 0.6 for 10 shots, and so I don't know what's going on here today, but not seeing the results I normally see. I am gonna have to investigate why the point of impact is changing so much with just I understand different pellets shooting different place, but just the difference in velocity, it seems more extreme than it should be, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to investigate barrel movement as at least a possibility. I've seen it shoot good groups, so I think the crown is okay. And it could just be that with the extra pressure from pumping that it's flexing something up here. I've got a new Picatinny rail that I think will accommodate the magazine that'll just be one piece. So we'll see, and that'll be here in probably 2 days if I'm still off work. Had an interesting situation come up where I'm off work when I'm not normally off work, so I have time to do a couple of things. I'll get the new one-piece mount on here and see if that doesn't help with the point of impact shifts that I'm seeing right now. Anyway, anybody made it to the end of this, I appreciate it. I'm gonna throw a video up over here you might like. YouTube's gonna throw one down here you might like. I'll catch you in one of those, or I will catch you down the road.